A grieving rancher who won't sell his land, a dance hall owner who's loved him since high school, a drifter who rides into town to con a dying old man and accidentally finds a family. One season later, the drifter owns the ranch, the sheriff has arrested his own wife for murder, the rancher threw away his great love with one punch, and a stranger just stopped a bride at the door with 6 words, "I'm looking for him, I'm his wife." Season 2 of Ransom Canyon hits Netflix this Thursday. This is the entire first season, every secret, every reveal, every cliffhanger, in one video. Let's ride. Welcome to Flick Flash, where we compress entire seasons so you walk into the new one ready. Ransom Canyon, based on Jody Thomas's novels, 3 ranching families, 1 Texas town, 1 water pipeline that wants to swallow it all. Full spoilers from the first frame to the last. Let's go. Staten Kirkland runs the Double K Ranch and runs on grief. His wife Amala died of cancer, and a year ago his teenage son Randall died in a car crash. A crash Staten is convinced wasn't an accident. The truck that hit him vanished. The other kid in the car, Lucas Russell, nephew of the town's screw-up Kit, survived, and remembers almost nothing. Staten's pressure valve is Quinn O'Grady, his late wife's best friend, a concert-level pianist who walked away from a New York career to run Gracie's dance hall. She's loved Staten since they were kids. He shows up at her door at night, leaves before morning, and calls it nothing. Quinn, tired of waiting, lets Davis Collins, the town's silver-tongued rancher developer, court her instead. That's the triangle, and it will end up costing more than any pipeline. Because yes, there's a pipeline. Austin Water and Power wants the valley's water, and Davis is quietly brokering the deal. The lone holdouts, Staten and old Cap Fuller, the third big rancher, stubborn, airless, and sitting on the land AW&P needs most. Enter Yancy Gray, a drifter fresh out of prison who rolls into town with a plan. Get close to Cap, become the indispensable helping hand, and grift his way into the old man's will. Except the plan has a secret inside it. Yancy is actually Cap's grandson. The child Cap's estranged son Lincoln had with the woman Cap turned away decades ago. He came for revenge wearing a fake name. And, complication, Davis knows who he is, bankrolled his arrival, and holds his prison past over him like a leash. Round out the board with the kids, Lauren, the sheriff's daughter, torn between Golden Boy Reed Collins, Davis's son, and quiet, brilliant Lucas, and the Watchers. Sheriff Dan Brigman, still picking at the Randall case, and Ellie, Cap's fiercely loyal caretaker, who clocks Yancy as trouble the moment he smiles. The town's rhythms settle in, and so do the lies. Lauren gets into real danger, and it's quiet. Bookish Lucas who saves her, but Golden Boy Reed takes the credit, and the whole town buys it. That little theft of a hero moment quietly rewires the kids' triangle. Lauren starts looking at Lucas differently. Meanwhile, Yancy embeds deeper at Cap's ranch and discovers the con's fatal flaw. He actually likes the work, and the old man. Quinn leans into Davis's easy charm while Staten broods behind his fences, and Dan keeps pulling at the case's loose thread. Trucks like the one that killed Randall don't just vanish. Someone made it disappear. A flashback finally explains the leash. Davis found Yancy in prison, told him what he could take from Cap, and bankrolled the whole homecoming con, meaning the revenge plot has been a pipeline play from day one. In the present, Quinn throws Gracie's grand reopening and the town shows up to dance. The cover-up breathes in the background, plates get quietly switched on a certain truck, while the kids get the season's sweetest beat, Lucas and Lauren's first kiss in the rain. And the past comes looking for Yancy. Freddie, a face from his prison years, surfaces in Ransom, and he hasn't come for the dancing. Someone cuts Cap's fences and cattle start vanishing, Yancy's old cellmates announcing themselves, and their blackmail is simple: help rob the old man, or Ellie gets hurt. The episode's heart is Reed and Lucas. A mud-soaked brawl turns into an afternoon saving a calf from a bog, and 2 enemies accidentally become something like brothers. Right as Reed moves into Randall's old room at the Double K, Davis, over apology pizza, admits to Quinn that his empire is drowning in debt, and the pipeline commission is his lifeline. And the ending detonates. Dan pulls the chop shop security footage, and the driver delivering the blue truck is Reed, the golden boy, Davis's son, Lauren's boyfriend. Quinn quietly gives up New York for Davis right as Paula Jo, Davis's venomous ex-wife and Reed's mother, sweeps into town with a seat on the A board and a plan. If Staten won't sell, bankrupt him. Then the rodeo breaks everything at once. Lauren, hearing the blue truck whispers, dumps Reed, who answers by punching Lucas. Staten finally says the words to Quinn and gets the season's coldest reply, too late. Yancy, offered a bribe to throw his final ride, refuses and wins the whole thing, while Cap has the cattle thieves arrested. But the goons leave 2 grenades behind. One tells Ellie that Yancy isn't his real name, and that night, in one of the season's nastier twists, Staten falls into bed with Paula Jo. A flashback reframes the crash. Someone checked Randall's pulse that night and ran. The cover-up has a conscience, and it's somewhere in town. Paula Jo unveils her master plan, strip Staten's wells of their grandfathered status, and guarantee the vote by secretly spiking his water so it fails salination tests. Quinn overhears everything, and gets gagged with a threat to Gracie's liquor license. Lauren, conscience burning, breaks Reed's alibi to Dan, Ellie, done waiting, searches Yancy's room for the truth, then sleeps with him anyway. Love and suspicion in the same bed. And the ending stack, Lucas and Lauren find the blue truck dumped in the river, and Ellie skips dinner to visit Freddie in custody, where the whole story is waiting for her. A tornado hits Ransom, and every secret shakes loose in the storm. Quinn and Staten, sheltering together at Gracie's, finally give in, their prom song playing, while she's still with Davis. Cap sneaks out into the storm to see Ruth, the love of his later life, and Yancy rides in and saves them both. Ellie, told everything by Freddie, including the real bombshell that Yancy is Cap's actual grandson, orders him to leave town after the storm, promising to keep his secret if he goes quietly. Reed cracks and confesses to Dan, the night Randall died Kit called him, and Cap drops a quiet bombshell on Davis, he has no will. If he dies, probate freezes the land and the pipeline for years. Reed's confession gets Kit arrested at dawn, and Kit won't fight the charges. No lawyer, no story, nothing. Lucas smells it instantly, his brother is covering for someone. Reed fills in his own piece. Years ago Kit saved him from a jam, and that night Kit called in the favor. Take the truck, get it cleaned, make it disappear. Reed was never the driver, he was the cleanup crew. The corporate war peaks at a council meeting. The spiked wells come back brackish, the vote to gut Staten's water rights is ready, and Reed detonates it by playing a secret recording of his own mother admitting to the sabotage. Paula Jo's plan dies on a projector screen. So Davis goes nuclear. He drives to Cap's and tells him everything about Yancy, the con, the fake name, all of it, minus Davis's own starring role. Cap meets Yancy at the door with a loaded gun. You mean nothing to me. And the heartbreak flips the whole board. Gutted, Cap agrees to sell the ranch. Davis converts his tantrum into the pipeline's biggest win. Oh, and Quinn and Storm Night guilt? Davis comes home to Paula Jo crying in his shower and sleeps with her. Everyone's cheating on everyone in perfect symmetry. Episode 9 answers the season's question, and it's devastating. Dan follows Lucas's, who is Kit protecting thread, to his own front door. His estranged wife Margaret was having an affair with Kit, and the night Randall died, Margaret was driving. She called Kit from the scene. He promised to take care of everything. The truck, the chop shop, the river, Kit's silent cell. All of it was Kit protecting the woman he loves. When Lucas threatens to sign emancipation papers unless Kit confesses, Kit signs them. He chooses her over his own brother to the bitter end. And Lauren overhears her mother begging Dan not to arrest her. The comeback mom, the A-chips, all of it sitting on top of a dead boy. Meanwhile, the show builds its gentlest trap. Staten, now secretly with Quinn, matching bracelets and all, brokers peace with Davis, merge the ranches, make Reed sole heir, stop the war. It lasts 6 hours, until Davis spots Quinn's bracelet, realizes the truth, and torches the deal by poaching Staten's biggest supplier. Staten declares war, and Cap, after Staten urges him to forgive, promises to think it over and rides out to clear his head. He never comes home. Yancy finds him at dawn under a tree, gone, holding a photograph of Yancy's pregnant mother with Lincoln. Forgiveness completed, never spoken. One sunrise too late. The finale, maybe it's time Yancy Gray dies too, closes every arc and lights new fuses. At the wake, Staten hands Yancy the truth Cap never got to say. He searched for you for years, he hated himself, and delivers the title line. It's awake. Maybe it's time Yancy Gray dies too. You're a Fuller. You always have been. The grifter dies. The grandson keeps the ranch, torching the $22 million sale Davis thought Cap's death had sealed. Justice lands, pushed by Lauren. You can't let Kit sit in that cell. Dan arrests Margaret and frees Kit. Noble and pointless. Kit sacrificed everything for a woman who's in a cell anyway. The triangle detonates one last time. Samuel, Staten's own senator father, plans to strip Staten's trusteeship by proving he's unstable, and Davis baits the evidence by provoking Staten into a public punch at Gracie's. Quinn, humiliated, all I ever wanted was you, and I think that all you want is your own pain. Staten leaves his bracelet on the bar, and Quinn, squeezed by A&P demanding back an $80,000 investment in Gracie's, takes a 6-month New York Philharmonic gig to pay it herself. Nobody rescues Quinn but Quinn, and the chapel. Yancy, candles lit, ring from Ruth, priest paid by the hour, proposes to Ellie, marry me tonight. She wavers, then chooses yes, and walks toward him, wedding dress in hand, until a stranger stops her. Do you happen to know Yancy Gray? I'm looking for him. I'm his wife. Cut to black. Ellie never reaches the altar. The season ends with Quinn crying at her piano and Staten alone on horseback at sunrise. Everything Thursday has to answer. Who is Yancy's wife? Real? A grifter chasing the ranch? Or a Davis special? Can Samuel and Davis actually take the double K from Staten with one punch as evidence? Does Quinn come back from New York? And to whom? Margaret awaits trial while Lauren lives as the driver's daughter. Kid is free. Lucas holds Ivy League acceptance letters and a reason to stay, and Yancy Fuller now owns the exact land two powerful men need him to lose. Season 2, 8 new episodes, hits Netflix this Thursday, July 23rd. If this saved you a 10-hour rewatch, subscribe and smash that like so the algorithm finds the next person cramming before Thursday, and tell me below who's at the door, wife, con artist, or Davis's next move. I read everything. Next on Flick Flash, Season 2 breakdowns the day the episodes drop. See you Thursday.